The baseball world is upset because Barry Lamar Bonds did not get into the Hall of Fame because the Writers Association failed not only Barry Bonds, but the baseball community as a whole for leaving one of the greatest, if not the greatest baseball player of all time, out of the Hall of Fame. Because every single thing points to Barry Bonds deserving that spot in Cooperstown. It's embarrassing. Twitter erupted because every 99% of fans know in their hearts that Barry Bonds is a top 3 player of all time and that his accomplishments on the baseball field completely top anything else, even if he was not liked by the media, if he didn't treat them the best. Even if he maybe took steroids, which has not been officially confirmed. David Ortiz took steroids. It was confirmed. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they shouldn't be a Hall of Famer, especially for their positions, given that it takes skill to put the bat on the ball, the eye coordination. Not only that, Barry Bonds is more than just a home run hitter. He found a way to get on base at a pace that is unreal and that will never, ever be repeated again. Even with Juan Soto, who's doing it so well, and Joey Votto, Barry Bonds did better. Barry Bonds is the home run leader in all of baseball history. 762 home runs. It's never going to be broken. Unless a player plays for 30 years, it's never going to happen again. The most intentional walks in MLB history, with over 680 in his career. The All-Star appearances. 14 All-Star appearances. And even in Pittsburgh, before he went to the Giants and allegedly took steroids, he put up outstanding numbers. 30 plus home runs in seasons consistently. RBI machine, on base percentage, king. Great in the field, Gold Glove Award winner multiple times. Home Run Derby champion. MVP. His 2004 season was one of the best of all time. And in my opinion, the thing that really makes Barry Bonds a Hall of Famer is the respect that not only he gets from the fans, but the baseball world itself, and specifically MLB teams. The thing that comes to mind for me is when they were playing the Diamondbacks, the Giants versus the Diamondbacks, ninth inning, bases loaded. And Buck Showalter intentionally walks Barry Bonds with the bases loaded. They would rather give up one run than even attempt to pitch to Barry Bonds. That has only happened one other time to Josh Hamilton. Only other player who has ever gotten that amount of respect, because that might be the utmost respect a player can get in the entire sport. Especially for a hitter. Pitchers, different story. But as a hitter, getting intentionally walked with the bases loaded is something you dream of. That is when you know that you are unanimously seen as the best player in baseball. That's Barry Bonds. He was the best player in baseball in his era and when he played. It is absolutely absurd that the Writers Association did not vote him in. David Ortiz, he deserved it. He deserved it. He was a hero in the postseason. He turned his career completely around after being shipped out of Minnesota. But the hypocrisy from the Writers Association, because David Ortiz took steroids. He got confirmed, he got suspended for it. If you're going to let one steroid user get into the Hall of Fame, but you're going to shut another one out for the sole reason that they use steroids, how does that make sense? That is the definition of hypocrisy right there. It's an absolute joke how they just turn a blind eye. Because for a multitude of reasons. Number one being that Barry Bonds did not really treat the media that right. It's not his job as a baseball player. His job is to go produce on the field, which is what he did every single game. There is no argument to Barry Bonds not being a Hall of Famer. Not every single fan, but like 95% of baseball fans know it. That he should have been in, and so many were upset. Hopefully the one committee that can get him back on the ballot or into the Hall of Fame, I don't know the whole details about that. Hopefully they do him justice, because he deserves it. He's a top 3 player of all time, regardless of the steroid usage, because in Pittsburgh he still was a dominant baseball player. A 162 career WAR. 14-time All-Star. On-base king. His 2004 season was one of the best of all time by a hitter, if not the best of all time. And I forgot this, but a 7-time MVP. 7 times he was named the most valuable player in baseball. How the hell are you going to ignore that and leave him out of Cooperstown? It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable to leave a player with a legacy so high and so great as Barry Bonds off of the Hall of Fame and vote someone else in who faced the same thing that you're leaving Barry Bonds off for, which is steroid usage. Ortiz got tested for it, confirmed. Barry Bonds never officially confirmed to get tested for it. But it still takes skill to put the bat on the ball. It takes skill to run and steal bases, which is something Barry Bonds did in his career in Pittsburgh and even in maybe the first half of his San Francisco career. His plate discipline and eye vision was unreal. He was so talented. And mind you, I only saw maybe 2 seasons because I was born in 2003. But I know because not only did my parents tell me how freaking amazing Barry Bonds was, but you could just look at the stats, you could talk to any other baseball fan, they all know. He was a mammoth. A hell of a baseball player. Arguably the best that they've seen in their entire lifetime that we will see. Mike Trout's amazing. Barry Bonds is something that no other player will replicate for a long time. I seriously can't believe he got left off the Hall of Fame. It's saddening as a Giants fan, and especially as a baseball fan too. The Writers Association let everyone down. Everyone. It's an embarrassment. Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer, and there should be no questions and no doubts about it.